Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
Today, we're going to talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a video game about exploring a planet, a book that talks all about walruses, and we have a totally awesome guest. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Simon Lara! Simon is an intake specialist for Bogin, Munns.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
It's very fun.
And today we're going to start off with the video game of the week, and this is going to be a discovery.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
Today's video game is Star Simulator Beta. This game is about a crunching YY game. Because it's on Roblox, you are able to play it on PC, Mac, Xbox, and even your cell phone. And it is free.
And everybody loves free.
That's right. And you may remember crunching from as many other games that are now in another language, and I have no idea how to play them. So first off, when you start the game, you are on a planet with an island where you can see some trees. You have an axe and are able to get resources, wood, from the trees. Then you can use the wood to unlock a hexagon tile that will make your island bigger. Each time you make it bigger, you are allowed to see more items and maybe more resources.
I'm going to have to try to play this game.
Sweet. Each tile costs more and more to unlock, but over time, you get to mine stone and ore as well as bigger trees. You can upgrade your axe and your pickaxe to make it easier to get the resources. Now, they have some places where you can process your wood and turn it into planks, and process stone and put it into iron bars. But after a while, as you unlock more and more stuff, you will find that you'll be gathering lots of stuff and processing things to make all the required items for the next unlock. It takes a while. Okay.
What's a while?
It takes me a while to get a new tile because I need 5 different things. Well, now I asked my dad to play it, and he said it was just like the little cell phone game, My Little Universe, except there were no bad guys to fight. He moved very fast and unlocked more than half of its planet. When you finish, you are allowed to go to another planet and do it all over again.
Is it the same team each time?
I don't know because I haven't gotten there yet. Well, I give Star Simulator Beta 10 out of 10 stars because I really like this game, and it's a really fun, relaxing game that does not require any fighting or combat, which is good. And you just get to gather stuff in your own time. And it's a great game to play to relax before going to bed.
To help you sleep better?
Yep.
Definitely going to have to play.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And now it's time for the book of the week, Getting to Know Nature's Children, Walruses. This book is written by Lamia Dingwall. Learn to the back of the book. In fact, Simon, would you like to do the honors?
Absolutely. Everything you've ever wanted to know about walruses. This book describes the physical characteristics, habits, and habitats of walruses.
Sweet. Well, this is an error point is worth 0.5 points or half a point. It's rated for 5th grade and 5th month. This is a great series about everything nature. This is an old book series, so they may be hard to find. My dad found this on eBay and bought me the entire series.
How many books are in the entire series?
Well, explain this is 15, there's probably 30. Well, this is not like my normal books. This is not fiction. Instead, this is more of a resource book, kind of like a dictionary, but instead it's all about walruses. If you want us to know anything about walruses, this is the book to read. For those that don't know, walruses males mate with at least 30 female walruses, and the females take care of the babies on their own, because after the mating season ends, the males don't care.
I know they don't care.
Said it in the book. Now, I won't tell you everything, but this is a great resource if you wanted to know that the walrus has a tusk that is 10 centimeters long, and the female ones are 2 centimeters shorter. They use it like a pickaxe to chop into the ice. And they have a finger mustache that they use like fingers to find food. Just amazing.
Finger mustache. So can you
Yeah. So imagine having like millions of hairs like a mustache like you have. And imagine just putting your head to the ground and the mustache just gives you food from the ground.
I'm going to have to try that.
Exactly. Well, I give Getting to Know Nature's Children Walruses 10 out of 10 stars because I enjoyed learning everything I ever wanted to know about walruses, and it explained a lot of questions that I didn't even know that I even had. I like that they are good fighters and have strong skin to be able to take a lot of hits. And now it's time for our interview of an interesting person. Today's guest is going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Simon Lara. Well, Simon is an intake specialist for Bogin, Munns.
What's funny is I think it said Bogin, Munns. I say it the same way you do, though.
Bogin.
Bogin, Munns.
Yep. So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
I am loving it. I love the energy. I love this is all new to me, so the experience is fun, and I'm having a great time.
Sweet. So for my listeners that have no idea, what exactly is an intake specialist?
So an intake specialist in the department that I work for is somebody who collects the information from a potential client who may be calling in. I work for the personal injury department. So in our case, most of the callers are calling in because they've been involved in an accident. So we'll collect the information and the facts of their case that pertain to that accident, and we will gather whether or not they have a case.
Okay. So how long have you been doing this job?
That's a good question. I have been working with Bogin Munns for about 3 to 4 months now.
Wow.
Yeah. So not a very long time, but...
That is a really long time. So do you get to help decide if it's a good case or not?
Yes, we do. That's the best part of the job. We will team up with the attorneys, and then we get to decide together whether or not we think it's a good case.
Nice. So what got you interested in working with the law?
I've always had an interest in it. I think it's pretty cool how we're pretty much have set laws that give us rights that we could use so that people don't take advantage of us. And because I was so interested in it, I decided I would go into that field.
Okay. So what is the best part about working as an intake specialist?
We get to assist the potential client, and by assisting them, we help them because they're calling in clueless and frustrated. They don't know what's going on and frantic. So we're there, and we provide most of that assistance alongside the attorneys and the case managers.
Especially because sometimes they're super frustrated, and then you get yelled at, and you're just someone who works there. Like,
yeah, that happens.
Why does this happen to
but
me?
I think that we understand that when somebody has been in an accident, there's a lot that's taken away from them. So
my car.
Yeah, their car. Sometimes, God forbid, they're injured. And so when they're calling in, they kind of want that help, and they want us to help them because they may be being taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm. So does it take a lot of training to be able to do this job?
Yes and no. I guess it depends on how quickly you catch on. I'm a fast learner. Most of the time, if you tell me something one time, I can catch on. So I've been fortunate enough not to require as much, but I learn something new every day.
Nice. So what is the difference between an intake specialist versus a paralegal or a lawyer? They all work with the law, but how are they different?
So the intake specialist, we collect and gather the facts of your case. We will help and assist alongside the attorneys who will actually advise us on how to move forward with each case, whether or not you have a case. At that point in time, after we've gathered all of the facts, we move it on to the case manager or the paralegal, who then work directly for the attorneys that know the law, have gone to law school, and have put the time in to understand whether or not how to treat the cases and whether or not the clients actually have a case.
Okay. So what is the best part about working as an intake specialist?
I think the best part about working as an intake specialist is, like I've stated, we get to assist the client. We get to provide some of that help. So even though that we're not doing as much work as the paralegals or as the lawyers, we're still providing some of that assistance, and we have some involvement in their case.
Okay. So kind of run me through it. What kind of tasks does an intake specialist have to do every day?
We'll come in. If, let's say, for example, God forbid, you've been in an accident, you will give us a call. You will let us know that you've been involved in an accident, whether that may be a slip and fall, whether that be a car accident, whether you've been usually badly assaulted, that's an assault case. If you call in with one of those type of cases to the personal injury department, we will then collect your information. We will collect the facts of the case, which entails how it happened, who was involved, if it's an auto accident, how it happened, whether you were at fault or not, your injuries, if you were injured, and then we move it along to the case managers.
Okay. Now I know that there are big firms and small firms. Well, does it matter the size of the firm when you're working as an intake specialist?
I think when you're working in any area of the law, the size of the firm does play a part in your job, only because the bigger firms are a bigger threat. If the bigger the name, the more people that know, the
bigger the paycheck.
That, and they also don't give you as much as a hard time because they know that you have the resources to get as much as you need done to win that case.
Mm-hmm. So what is the hardest part about working in this job?
The hardest part about working in the job is probably trying to assist somebody that you truly would love to assist and you just can't. So there's times where there are callers that come in and we can't specifically assist them because of the type of case that they have or just how everything played out. And so while you may feel bad, there's the law limits you to what you can do or the help that you can provide in certain ways or aspects.
That's true. What is your greatest achievement while working in the legal field?
My greatest achievement while working in the legal field has been providing a significant amount of assistance in a way to a decent amount of clients in a short amount of time. And so I always try and set my goal above what your quota is supposed to be, because we are supposed to make sure that we're working our cases and that we're doing our jobs, so that we're providing assistance to the callers. And I always make sure that I set my goal a little higher, just so that I know I'm providing more help than is required. It makes me feel good because I know that I'm trying to do the best I could to put the help back out there.
Yeah. Okay, so what is a quota?
A quota is, let's say, like a certain number that you have to meet a month. So if we have, let's say, 20 callers that called in for a personal injury matter, and I took 5 of them, I need to make sure that I'm continuously calling those 5 until we have completed the intake step.
Yes.
Or the intake process. Until that intake process has been completed or we've ruled out what's going to happen, I'm supposed to be following up and continuously checking in on those clients to make sure they don't need assistance.
Okay. So who helped motivate or inspire you the most in following your dreams?
Who helped motivate and inspire me the most following my dreams? I want to say a lot of my friends, my family, most importantly, my dad. I think I've been fortunate in having a significant amount of people in my life that have motivated and pushed me into believing in myself.
Okay. So what is the craziest situation that you have run into while working in the field of law?
What is the craziest situation that I've run into? Believe it or not, it's unfortunate, but I want to say the craziest situation has been. I'm trying to think on how I can say it without violating any. So the craziest situation has been, I would say we get a lot of callers that are challenging and are facing challenging situations that are not necessarily a reality. So they may be going through situations where it's like mental health issues or something. Yeah. And so they're calling in about things that they're experiencing that they feel is happening to them that's not really happening. And you feel bad because you can't help them, but you also don't want to just hang up on them.
Can't help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get quite a few of those. I work the night shift, so I get them a lot. Yeah.
That's harsh too, because
Yeah.
then going to bed at 12, like, watching them just suffers, like, why?
Well, I try to leave work at work. I feel bad, but I don't allow it to come home with me just so that I
True.
know that it's not draining and that I'm not getting myself burnt out.
So when you were a kid, what did you want to do when you grew up? Did you always know that you were going to work with the law?
No. I always dabbled back and forth. They're probably completely opposite fields. But growing up, I knew I either wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. It was always one of the two. I wanted to do criminal law, so I ended up in the personal injury department. But I wanted to do criminal law, or I wanted to be a gastroenterologist.
Gas.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you could think of one thing that would make your job easier, what would it be?
One thing that would make my job easier? That's a good question. So one thing that I believe would make my job easier, I want to say more calls. I don't know. I like to stay busy. I like to work and make sure that my time's going by quick at work. So I always say
Like, no
the more
prank
work, the
calls,
better.
no these people saying they have mental issues because I can't help them or anything like that. And
Well, they
then
don't
more
say it.
calls that are actually good.
Yeah, they don't say it, but
Yeah.
you have an idea because they'll continuously.
Tell you.
Yeah, like you almost have like a blacklist, and so you'll know who's on that list based on the names. And so when I
Yeah.
see that name come up, when you ask them and you're taking their information, then you know it's somebody that's on that list.
Okay. Well, what advice would you give to my listeners if they wanted to grow up and work as an intake specialist?
I would say familiarize yourself with the area that you want to be an intake specialist in. Most of the time, it's personal injury that I believe has them, and some commercial laws. So I would say familiarize yourself with that area. Try and connect yourself with attorneys or people in a law firm, and then just go for it. I mean, I feel like if you make yourself knowledgeable or some type of background in that field, and you connect yourself with people who work in that industry, it's a little easier for you to actually get into it.
Okay. So what is the best reason for a kid to grow up and want to be an intake specialist?
I would say the best reason, or anybody who wants to become an intake specialist, it's a great way to get yourself into a law firm, experience what work they deal with, and I would leave it for most of the time people who may want to move up into becoming a paralegal and or becoming an attorney, just because you get a feel of what it is that you'll be doing, or you at least get to see it firsthand. That way you don't do the years of schooling and then end up you're gonna hate it. You know what I mean?
Now you work with a firm that has big boards. I mean, big billboards. Does that make it more fun to work there?
It makes it interesting every time that I pass one of the billboards or
It's
every
like,
time I
I
see a
work
commercial.
there.
Yeah, that's literally me. Or sometimes some of my coworkers are on the commercials. So whenever I'm seeing it, I'm ready to like record it and be like, "Oh my God, look, you're in the commercial."
And you just text it to them and like,
Yeah,
cool.
literally. Or I'm at work the next day like, "I think I saw you yesterday. Are you famous?" Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
Find what I love and stick to it.
Okay. Well, what was the first job you ever had?
The first job I ever had was bagging groceries at Stop and Shop.
Ooh.
I was 14.
Lucky you.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause that's actually a pretty good paying job.
I actually had
Then
a lot
that
of
was-
fun.
That's a good paying job.
I had a good
Especially if the cash register was actually fast.
Mhm.
But then people would be scared to actually put their Mountain Dew cans on. Well, was there anything you learned from that job that helped you to be a better intake specialist?
Customer service skills. It helps you deal with the public. And in any job that you're dealing with the public or you're dealing with clients or customers, it's going to help you when you're in a job or in a field that you have to deal with people. People could be complicated, and so the more experience you have with them at work, customer servicing, the more it helps you.
That makes sense. Well, what was the biggest mistake you ever made, and how did it change you as a person?
The biggest mistake I ever made was most likely, I'm trying to think of something that I actually regret, that because I think any mistakes I've made have molded me into a better person. Probably getting better grades at school and just focusing more on one thing instead of jumping around into a bunch of things, which is
Okay.
why I stated, like, find something you love and stick to it.
Okay. So, when you're not working as an intake specialist, what do you do for fun?
I hang out with my family. I stay home, watch some TV and relax. I go to the pool, go to the beach. What else do I do? I don't play video games, so I'm gonna add that one to my list. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
that Roblox game we spoke about earlier. But yeah,
You should play it, though.
I'm gonna have to.
Especially all the other games that they have on Roblox. Okay, so what is your favorite book to read?
My favorite book to read, believe it or not, was the Twilight series.
I don't know if I read that before.
It's like I think it had Twilight, New Moon, Breaking Dawn, and I can't even remember those. I think it was like Breaking
Okay.
Dawn too. Yeah, it was like the vampire series things.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that was like the first time I read a
I've
book that was like
watched the
700.
movies.
Yeah, I should have probably did that too.
Okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid show, okay? But that one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
So I have this. It's not a story I'm not supposed to tell you about, but it's a story that's a little funny, I think. And so me and my sisters have this thing where each time we have these pair of glasses, like these Ray-Ban sunglasses, and we all think it looks cute on the other. So each time, let's say like I'll go over to my sister's house, if she has them, the glasses were originally mine. And so my sister then took them because she thought they were cute on hers. Then my other sister went and took them from my other sister. Then I went and took them back from the sister who took it from my other sister. And then she went and took it back from the other sister. So now we're just waiting to see who gets it next. Because each time somebody will take the
You should
glasses.
probably go get it now.
I'm trying to. Because I want to end up with them next so I can take a picture and send this to them and tell them like I finally got the glasses back.
I know. Nice. Well, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you?
Besides that, I'm like the coolest person in the world and the coolest uncle and
Uncle?
yeah, I have 5 nieces and nephews, 6 nieces and nephews.
Holy cow.
2 boys and 1, 2,
Threes.
3, 4 girls.
That's 6 nieces and nephews. Not
Yep.
fun. Well,
So-
do you have a website or Facebook for my listeners to follow you?
Facebook, Simon Lara.
Okay.
Yeah, first and last name. Probably on Instagram as well.
Nice. What is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
I think it's the one question that I think I forgot to ask you. So, this job is a really hard job. And it's the first time I've done it and I can see it. So, what do you love about your job?
What I like about my job, so I just get to have fun and interview cool people, and maybe, who knows, I might be a garbage man, I might be a pilot, who knows who I can be. I just got a whole lot of new jobs.
Okay.
So do other kids and adults.
Do you get to meet a lot of cool people in the show?
Yeah, people like you. I had a dream guest, Jason Belmont, #1 bowler in the world.
Yeah.
I'm a really good bowler, in my opinion. I score 198. I know. I'm
And you
good.
like to bowl, I hear.
Yes, I do. I went bowling today, actually.
Cool.
Which is cool. Well, thank you, Simon, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Yes, I can.
Sweet.
I'm not that good at math, though, so you're going to have to help me.
Okay, that's fine.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Well, thank you, Simon, for helping me with Math Corners. This week, we're going to do some more multi-step word problems. You know, my dad is going to love yet finding another one of those word problems for us to solve. Okay, here we go. John bought 5 packages of cat food and 3 packages of dog food. Each package of cat food contained 8 cans, and each package of dog food contained 2 cans. How many more cans of cat food than dog food did John buy?
So he had 5 packages of cat food, 3 packages of dog food. Each package of cat food contained 8 cans, and each package of dog food contained 2 cans.
So this should be another easy one, but it will take a few steps. The goal is to find out how many more cans of cat food than dog food do we have. So we have to know exactly how many cans of each food was purchased. So John bought 5 packages of cat food, and each has 8 cans. So 5 times 8 is 40 cans of cat food. John bought 3 packages of dog food, and there are 2 cans per package. So 2 times 3 is 6 cans of dog food. Now we have enough to solve the problem. 40 cans of cat food minus the 6 cans of dog food is the difference of 34 cans. Which is your answer?
How'd you get that answer?
By 40 minus 6.
That was quick.
I know. So Simon, do you now know all about solving multi-step word problems?
Math was not my best subject. That's my only excuse.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, my teacher says that I would use math every day. Do you use math in your job?
Very rarely, only sometimes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Simon, for your help with Math Corners.
Thank you.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
And now it's time for the heart of a lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about leadership. For me, I think leadership is the act of loving what is good, having self-control, and being disciplined. The qualities of leadership are providing guidance and direction, organization, and being a positive influence on others.
Good qualities.
So this week, my dad offered me a deal to get me to read. He told me that for every book that I read that is 150 pages or more, I get a single unrestricted dollars. Now, we all know what a dollar is, but an unrestricted dollar means that I can purchase anything I want with it, even if it's something my dad would normally not allow me to have. Also, it can be an expanding dollar if I use it at the dollar store. An expanding dollar means it's worth one item at the dollar store, including the tax. So far, I've already read 5 books, so I do like this new program. My dad showed leadership by providing guidance and direction and organizing this new way to motivate me to read.
So do I get an expanding dollar for reading the book about the wars?
Only a prize for me. But I wish I did this in school.
I tried.
Because this will actually level up kids in reading. So Simon, did you see or use leadership at all this week?
Yes, I try and use leadership every day, where you, like stated, you guide somebody and you try and do it in a way that shows you care or allows them to see that you care and that you're trying to guide them from, like you stated, the heart.
Yeah. Well, of all of the Harvard virtues, which is your favorite?
The integrity and the where it states that guidance comes from the heart and it is integrity.
Okay. Well, we should always try and be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
I believe we should. Keeps you going.
Yeah.
Do you believe you're lion strong in everything you do?
Yep.
Okay, so do I. Good.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Simon Lara for being on my show.
Perfect. Thank you for having me. I had a blast. I had a great time, and I definitely would love to come back.
Sweet. Well, it has been so much fun talking to you today. I think we learned a lot about the legal intake process. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Learned a lot about this.
And
Recording
also,
the studio.
that's right. And also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And please be sure to visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and like and subscribe. Also, be sure to listen to us next week on The Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius.